Hi, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to solve this problem. You can see this mirror has gotten a bit green. It's almost like it's got a browny green tinge to it, and what happens with this mirror is that when the ambient lighting reduces, it's picked up by the rear view mirror and it actually sends a signal to a controller which darkens this mirror. Now in this case this mirror is already dark, but it is midday and it shouldn't be like that. So what has happened is this has become faulty. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to make this clear again, the right color, but I'm not going to repair this. I'm literally just going to remove this additional layer of glass, and you'll see what I'm talking about in the video shortly. Right, so the first thing I need to do is remove this mirror. So I'm just going to pull this out. This particular mirror, it's quite easy. You can actually just snap it out. Other mirrors have clips and so forth. To get this particular mirror out on an E65 BMW, you just get your fingers in there and pop it out. It is quite stiff. Right, then there are two leads here. This is for the heater inside the mirror, and the dimming circuit, it's this plug over here. I just remove it and unclip it like that. Right, so here are the mirrors. This one is fine, there's nothing wrong with it. This one is the faulty one. Just having a look at the color, you can see if I angle the mirror towards my wall, you can see that the one is definitely on the green side. I mean, yeah, even if I swap them, you can definitely see the one is clear and the one is greeny brown. Right, so this one is not faulty. I'm just going to remove it. Now this is the problem one. If you look there, look at all those bubbles that have come inside between the two glasses, and there's a little bit there as well. In this video, all I'm going to show is how to get the mirror without that tint anymore. And in order to do that, I need to remove this top layer of glass. What has happened here is these are two pieces of glass that are sandwiched together with a certain liquid in between. When you apply a current to it, it dims the view. So now in this case, it's faulty. So I just want to remove this top layer of glass so that at least I don't have a dimmed mirror all the time. Now you could go and buy a replacement of this mirror. For the E65 BMW, it is hell of expensive. What I'm going to do is try and separate this to remove this glass. Right, so I'm taking a blade and I'm cutting along the sides there. It seems like it's siliconed in here. Right, and what I've done is I've gone and got something that is soft, because while I'm cutting this, I don't want to deform this and break the glass. So now when I depress this, the cushion can absorb the uneven pressure. Right, so I just cut it a few times. Right, so if you have a look, it is now releasing this cover from the glass. So I just need to remove the rest of this bead. You don't have to press extremely hard, rather just go over it several times. Right, now it is starting to peel open. Right, so now I'm just pressing the glass inwards with my finger and using these two fingers to peel the bead away. I can hear it making a squeal as I remove it. Right, I've removed this from the double glass. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be using this anymore. I am still going to be using the heater to demist it, but this over here, now I can cut away. Now what I want to do is separate these two pieces of glass. Now these two pieces of glass have an adhesive that is holding them together. So just trying to peel them open, you'll end up cracking the glass. So what I recommend you do is you heat up the glass now. You can use a hairdryer or you could use a hot air gun. Do not hold the heat gun in one place. Move it around so that you can spread the heat evenly. Okay, so I'm at 40 degrees now. Alright, I'm now close to 80 degrees. And I'm going to try and separate these two pieces of glass. Right, I'm gently separating the glass. So maneuver your blade all the way around and you'll see there's like a black strip going all the way around. That's actually the part that was sticking the glass on. Now I've opened it and all I need to do is clean these two surfaces. I'm going to use a rubbing alcohol. Now at this point you can decide if you want to sandwich these two pieces of glass together, then you are going to need something like this. This is an adhesive that when you put it here, you sandwich the glasses together and then ultraviolet light actually glues it and provides a clear adhesive. Or if you want to, you could just use this now. You could ignore this piece here and just use this going forward. Now when you are doing this, you only really need to heat this section here, the edges. Right, so there you can see the two mirrors. The one on the right is the original. It's a little bit more dull than the one on the left, and that's because it still has that second piece of glass on. In my case, I'm not going to reseat this glass. I'm just going to now put the bead back on and reinstall this on the car. Just cleaning this up. Right, you want to seat the glass and you want this bead to be flush on the glass. You see there? Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue and go around here to seal it so that water cannot come through to the back of the mirror. Right, so what I recommend you do is you take your rubbing alcohol and you take a toothbrush or a cloth and just clean inside here. You don't want any oil or any dust inside here. Then do the same with this. Just clean around here so that the glue will bond nicely. Now, I recommend you use an epoxy or anything like that, even a silicone or a gasket maker, but this will take quite a bit of time to dry. What I don't recommend using is a type of super glue. Super glue is brittle. When the mirror gets knocked or bumped, it can break the super glue bond quite easily. So I'm going to be using this Wonder Fix. It has an elastic type grip, and this mixture is a 2-to-1. So I'm just putting a blob over here. There we go. So I made a line there, and then this one wants one part. So the best way to do this is to make two lines. Put the one line double as long as the other. In my case, the camera stopped recording and I had already made a mess. Now I'm just going to put the bead back on the glass. Right, so I'm keeping an alcohol swab nearby because this is quite a sticky job. Now I'm going to seat this as much as possible. Now my advice is to work on a piece of paper or something like that because this epoxy tends to get everywhere. Now we just want to mix the epoxy. Now you've got about between 5 and 10 minutes here depending on how much of the catalyst you put in. Now because this is the back of the mirror, the way it looks is not going to be so important. Most important is that you put this on the mirror and that it bonds to the bead. Right, just clean any epoxy that went over the side. Now use this time to depress the glass inwards and the bead onto the glass. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press that in like that. Right, so I've just left a lead acid battery on this and I'm going to leave it for half an hour while that epoxy sets. Please note that the tape that's on the battery was just some old tape that was there. I never taped the battery to the mirror. It's just some old tape that was sitting on the battery. Right, so here's the mirror. It is now dry. Obviously, if you've used silicone, you'd have to wait much longer. Right, I've cleaned the mirror. You can see the coloring is correct now. And if I compare it to the original mirror, there you can see this is the original mirror that is still working, that does the dimming. And the one on the top is now the mirror that I've just worked on and does not do the dimming. All right, so the one on the right is the original mirror. The one on the left is the one that I've now removed that additional piece of glass. So you can see that the colors are now much closer. Although the one on the left, the one that I've removed the glass, is actually brighter. Right, so now it's time to go and refit this on the vehicle. Right, now when it comes to putting this back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the old plug back in. And the reason is, if you just leave this one here, water can get in there and can actually drain your battery. So what I want to do is I'm going to put that back in, that is watertight, and then I'm just going to tape these wires here. These wires have been cut at different heights. Right, then I'm just flapping this round to the back here. Right, then I'm just taping this up. Now I bring the glass, I put these heater wires back on. And that slides in like that, and I just need to reseat the glass. Now, as I said, each mirror is different. This one I'll just snap in. Other ones require you to unclip things. Right. Right, so there you can see the glass is moving perfectly. Right, so this is the original one, which was already working, and I'll show you the one that I've now modified. Right, so there's the one that is now fixed, and you can see that the color is sorted out.